Hi, everyone. Welcome to One Drop at a Time.
We're a podcast that explores developing our relationship with the Savior and filling our lamp one drop at a time.
Thank you for taking the time to like and share our podcast.
Hello. Hello. Where's my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe we're not going to have a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Usually we have a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we don't start before. Sometimes I do, and I catch Kristen in this really whatever.
This happens to me most times.
Anyways, hopefully it's running, but we just wanted to share a story. We're in October, and we're talking a little bit about the enemy because October is kind of an interesting month. It's a pagan holiday, of course. Halloween is. And we want to talk about the natural man because sometimes when we lean into the natural man, that opens the door for more difficult challenges and probably more influences from the adversary. But it's all how we take things. We're in the ebb and flow, and in the difficult times, we can choose. So Kristen's going to tell a really great
family history
Yeah,
story.
it is an interesting story. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story from probably around 1890, maybe 1900. I had a great-great-grandfather, Robert Marion Tyler, and he was a dad and had several children, and he got injured. He hurt his back, and he used to haul hay and whatever produce to this military base that was like a 2.5 day ride with his wagon in Arizona. Anyway, as time is passing and he's injured and he's having to recover, his family starts starving. And so it's finally decided that his 11-year-old son and his 9-year-old son are going to drive this wagon 2.5 days to deliver this hay to save their family. And so the mother had like a biscuit. I don't know if she had one to share between the twins. They had almost nothing. And she gives her boys this biscuit and sends them on their way to take this straw for 2.5 days, or hay. I don't really know what it was. Some agricultural product. So they're riding away from their home, and not very far down the road, they run into somebody that they know, and they tell him where they're going. And he sees that they're pretty destitute, and he says, I just slaughtered a cow. I'll give you the liver, and you can, when you get to your first camping spot tonight, you can cook this liver and you can have some food. So the boys are just like, this is the best food they've had in a long time. They're so excited. So they bury the liver in the straw to keep it as good as it can be at the time. And they keep going, and they've brought their dog with them to help guard them. So they go, and they're almost to the end of the day, and they're driving, and they see this rabbit run across the road. And this is a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old using their best judgment. Hey, let's go get that rabbit. So they jump off they leave their horse and their cart, and they have their guns, and they go running after this rabbit. And of course, it's a wild goose chase, and they're quite far away, and they're gone for a while, and they come back, and they're coming towards the wagon, and they see their dog covered with blood, and they're just like, that dang dog ate our beef liver. And without
Wow.
anything, they just the one of them raises his gun and shoots the dog, just kills the dog. And they walk the rest of the way to the wagon. And when they get to the wagon, they come around on the other side of the wagon, and there's a dead coyote. And there has been a serious struggle between this dog and this coyote. And the dog basically just gave its life to protect the beef liver that he knew belonged to those boys. He hadn't touched that liver, and that coyote wasn't able to get it. And so the boys are so devastated. They are just they just feel all their wretchedness,
Yeah.
And so they take their dog, and they bury their dog, and they bury the beef liver with the dog as a sign of respect for what he did, and they're wrong. And they get back in the wagon, and they make the rest of the journey. They're able to get some money for their family, but this story becomes a family heirloom, basically, of what happens when you let the natural man become your boss.
Yeah. I mean, we're full of emotions, right? we can be hit with all kinds of emotions. And I think it's important to see with this natural tendency that we have that we just take a minute to step back and evaluate the whole situation. You know, we're going to have hard things in our life off and on all the time. And if we're going to jump to conclusions, especially without even understanding, judging people, doing whatever,
Condemning
yeah,
condemning people, yeah.
it's important that we stop, pray about it. You know, it's important that we don't jump to these quick conclusions.
Yeah.
It never ends up good. Anyways,
So when your inner volcano, I don't know if I have an inner volcano, I can literally feel the lava getting ready to explode out of me occasionally. That's when I know, oh, I'm out of control. I'm out of control. Don't let that don't vomit that. Don't do it.
you know, we learn in Alma, natural man is an enemy to God and has been from the fall of Adam. So we're going to talk this week about the natural man and maybe some different things that we can do to get on top of the natural man. I think the goal in this life, probably a big goal, is to learn how to control the natural man so that we're running it and it's not running us. So we're inviting the Lord into our life and he's helping us learn how to control this natural man. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.